Today we're making a Dollar Tree DIY wall sconce using the Dollar Tree Jenga blocks. You can get the original from Amazon. It's the one on the left. I'll link it in the description box below. But if you don't like the price tag, stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it for $5. For this wall sconce, you're going to need the 72 pack of tumbling block and some wood glue, and I'm using the Gorilla wood glue. And you want to secure your surface. I'm using parchment paper so the glue won't stick to the surface. So this wall sconce will take about just a little bit over 1 pack of our tumbling blocks. So we're just going to start by making sections, and then we're going to attach it all together to complete our wall sconce. So you want to use your square ruler, and I'm using this one from the Dollar Tree. It's going to help to keep everything aligned, and we're making squares. We're using 12 pieces of our tumbling blocks. And you just want to make a square and use your wood glue to attach them all together. And pay attention to how I'm overlapping the corners. That way we'll have a perfect square. So you're going to make 3 sets of those, then use your ruler to find the center. And you're going to find the center of all 4 sides on your 3 squares. Next, you're going to take 4 tumbling blocks and attach them to your first square. And you want to make sure that your mark is in the center of that tumbling block that you're attaching. So for this square, you're going to be attaching 4 tumbling blocks, and for the other 2 squares, you'll be attaching only 3 tumbling blocks. Now let's join them all together, and we're only using wood glue for this project because we want it to be strong, okay? And just use a straight edge so they'll be aligned properly. You can use any straight edge. I'm using my yardstick. So let's leave that to dry for a couple minutes while we work on our sides. We're going to be joining 6 pieces of our tumbling blocks for the short side and 14 pieces of our tumbling blocks for the long side. And I'm just aligning them next to my yardstick so they can be straight. So we're done making our sides. This is about 10 minutes after. They're dry enough to start working with. So let's join them all together. I'm going to attach the 2 short sides first, and the tumbling block is going to fall directly in the center. It's 6 pieces of tumbling blocks that we have, so it will be between the center of the 2 third ones, okay? And then we're going to place our next 2 sets on the long sides, the 2 sets of 14s. And if you count 7 down from each end, the center of it should be touching that center block. It should be directly in that center. And you just want to use some painter's tape to help hold them in place until they dry. So while that's drying, let's attach these 2 sets of 2. And this is going to be for the part where we're going to place our candle holder or vase, whatever you're going to be using, okay? So please allow these to dry fully before you move to the next step. But we're going to be doing some drilling. We're going to be adding double pins so our sconce will be nice and sturdy. So you're going to drill the center of the first square and place your ruler under the base so you can stop the drill bit. Then drill a hole in the 2 pieces that you glued together, and just make sure that the drill bit is going in straight. And just make sure that it's deep enough to fit your dowel pin. Then attach your pin, and you're going to use your wood glue in the holes also. I also drill a hole in the side, and that will be for the top. And I only drilled it halfway, so it's going through 1 Jenga block. Then I'm going to attach my dowel pin in that hole, and then I'm attaching my other set of Jenga block to that. Now you're going to attach 4 of your Jenga blocks, 3 of them side by side and then 1 on the end. And you also want to leave those to dry. I'm just working as I'm going along, but this should have been done ahead of time. To hold my vase, I use an old lid from a candle jar and I attach my Jenga block pieces, and to attach them I use my Loctite PL530 construction adhesive, and you just want to place it directly into the center of that lid. And then you want to go ahead and drill a hole in the center. Just make sure that your hand is staying straight. So you're using 3 dowel pins in total. So your sconce is on the surface now, just like it will be on the wall. So just place this piece on top of where it should be sitting so you can know exactly where to drill your hole. And then just go ahead and attach it, and it should be laying flat against the surface. Just make sure that it's straight. You can stand it up against the wall and just make sure that it's straight before it dries. Then you want to take a little piece of sanding paper, 120 grit sanding paper, and just sand away those joints if you don't like the joints. From here you can decide what you want to do with it. You can stain it or paint it, whatever you'd like. I'm going to be using this Valspar paint. It gives a nice coverage. It's off-white, and this is the one I'm going to be using for myself. If you decide to make this, I would love to hear what color you would choose for yourself and how are you planning on styling it. You can style this sconce however you would like. You can use real candles, or you can use LED candles, or you can use it for just flowers, whichever you would like. I just started working with Jenga blocks a couple weeks ago, and I realized that if it's a frame or something like this where it should be solid, then I prefer white, and I think I like the white because it hides the seams. I'm going to be giving this 2 coats, and then I'll talk you through what I'm doing with the vases. I got 2 of the short vases from the Dollar Tree, and I have a push light with remote, and I have one of the LED light housing for the LED push lights. And in the second vase I'm using some orchids I already have. I just took them off the stems and stuffed them in there. Then you can use some E6000 to seal the 2 vases together and just place this rhinestone ribbon around that seam. And you can use hot glue for the ribbon. And I'm just going to use these 2 nails in the top corner to hang my sconce. And that completes today's project. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, I post a new video every Friday, so even if you don't get notified, you can just search for my channel, Budget Friendly Creations, to see all my uploads. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next Friday. Bye bye.